Does the motion need a seconder? Yep, okay. Is there a seconder? Thank you, Pauline. Right. Yanni, do you want to introduce it?
Thank you. Obviously, Christchurch, unfortunately, has had a history of Legionnaires. And in 2005, there was quite a severe outbreak, and there was a lot of work going into understanding what had happened and what could be done in future. In 2008, there was a report that went to the Reg and Planning Committee, which gave a pretty extensive review and suggested that Council support the coroner's recommendations in terms of what have been listed below. So I've attached those letters to this report. I've also attached the coroner's recommendations and findings. I personally think, given what's happened recently, that we should also be looking to respond, and as such, I'm asking for a report to go into what the response and progress has been on the attached requests. I think that it's really important that if there's things we can do as a city from a public health point of view to address things that the coroners have recommended, that we take all steps possible to either advocate to government for the changes that need to occur that haven't occurred, or to look at what we can do. So I'm really just asking for a report. I think it's important that we do look at what's happened in the past and recently, and recognise that we do have a role to play. So I hope you'll support this. I think the interesting discussion will be when that report comes back as to what recommendations we wish to pursue. And just to place on record that I have met with council staff, with the Officer Medical of Health, Dr. Ramon Pink, and we have actually talked through what we're doing in terms of the recent issue of Legionnaires, and also what just to make sure that they're collaborating over a response, because council has worked in the past with the CDHB around this issue, and it's expected that we would continue to do that going forward. So there's nothing more that I really want to add than what I've said. I think the detail will come when that report comes back, and that's the time to have a bit more of a substantial discussion. This is just setting up a process for things to occur.
Thank you. I'm just, Yanni, I'm just wondering about the wording. I'm concerned that there's a coroner's report here with recommendations. Should we be using the words perhaps evidence of compliance to these recommendations? Would that be a little bit stronger than what you've got here? You've got progress, response and progress. Would you consider strengthening that wording? Or
We do need to hear back from staff and from we need to formulate a report. Yeah.
The entire agreement of everyone in the meeting?
75%.
I think it's the mover and seconder, isn't it?
No, I'm getting the advice from the right here.
Well, I'm sure, yeah.
I'm relying on them.
Well, if Yanni's happy with the wording, I was just suggesting that it just seems to me there's a clear directive in these two letters which followed on some fatalities, and this is quite soft in my view, but it's up to...
I mean, the idea is not to take an aggressive approach with government. It's actually to try and work out a strategy for the things that possibly haven't been done, to how we can advocate for them to happen. So maybe we meet with the minister. It may be that we do a number of things.
So we're not altering the wording at the moment. So Pauline,
we're happy with it.
Pauline, do you want to speak? No? Tim.
Thank you. I'm just noticing on page 127 with regards to points C and F that within that report that we get back, that we implications and if they can be recovered from those buildings. Well, that should be in the report, because if we're going to do the coroner's recommendation is that these
I'm not sure it's within our ambit, is it?
If I can just, the warrant of fitness regime administered by territorial authorities, which would be the council, and the coroner's recommending that these tests are undertaken monthly. So therefore, there will be a cost incurred unless we can recover it. So I would like that in the report, because we need to know that.
You okay with that?
The report. So I totally agree, but we need to know all the ramifications.
So Carlene's taken note of that.
Thank you.
Yep.
Right.
Okay, no problems. Can I put the notice of motion as moved Yanni, seconded Pauline, and it's as what's written there. Okay, put that. Those in favour, please say aye. Aye. Those opposed? Carried. Okay, I now have a resolution to exclude the public. Oh, wait a minute, have I forgotten something?
You need to include marsh insurance for item 19.
I need to include...
Brent King and Beverley Matthew
So
George
for
item 19.
In the resolution to exclude the public, I need to allow into that meeting Brent King and Beverley Massey George from Marsh Insurance for item 19. Yeah. Okay, so with that, I'll move and Jamie will second that the resolution to exclude the public as set out on page blah blah is put. Those in favour, please say aye. Aye. Those opposed, carried. And that's just in time for morning tea, which gives you guys time to disengage from live feed.